right, good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Coopity, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to Good Morning Grenada. For today, it's Wednesday, the 29th of March in the year 2023. You know, Gordon Joseph in your company. And despite what, I always try my best to be here with you. You know, I look forward to this. I live for this. Hope you had yourselves a wonderful night and that you're up and ready to face the challenges of this brand new day. All right, to all the school children, those of you who are going out to support your various schools at the Intercall Games 2023, again, I urge you to be at your very best behavior. Be the best representative for your school today, all right? You see your colleague, your classmate, your school friend doing something that you know they ought not to be doing. It is in your right to stop them, or at least attempt to, you know, bring it to their attention that, hey, what you're doing, you're disrespecting our school, you're disrespecting our tie, you're disrespecting our principal and staff, and most importantly, our parents, and you're dissing yourself. So, yeah, lead by example today. Be your brother's keeper, and so forth. I just want to say good morning to all the officials, the sponsors, and the persons who are ensuring that we have a smooth games. The coaches, yeah, good morning to you guys as well. It's 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock, and it's time for us to get into the program. Yeah, it's time for the word for the day. And the word for today, it's an adjective. It is the word immaculate. All right? Immaculate. And it is spelled I-M-M-A-C-U-L-A-T-E. And like I said, it is an adjective. And what it means is spotlessly clean or without flaw or error. In botany or zoology, the word describes beings that have no colored spots nor marks. Here's how we can use the word. Despite the constant demands of school and fatherhood, Xavier kept an immaculate home, tidying up whenever the opportunity arose. We can also say even a minor scandal has the power to tarnish an otherwise immaculate reputation. Yeah, I like that word. That's a nice word, immaculate. All right, good. 26 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour. And it's now time for the thought of the day. And the thought of the day is, greatness is not a destination, but a journey. It's not about achieving a certain status or accolade, but about continually striving to be the best version of yourself. It's about pushing yourself to be better every day and inspiring others to do the same. Greatness is a mindset, a way of living, and a commitment to excellence in all that you do. I love this one. Let me reiterate it. Greatness is not a destination, but a journey. It's not about achieving a certain status or accolade, but about continually striving to be the best version of yourself. It's about pushing yourself to be better every day and inspiring others to do the same. Greatness is a mindset, a way of living, and a commitment to excellence in all that you do. Yeah, it's personal. Even if the waters around you are rough, but you've got that peace of mind because your aim is to attain greatness. Yeah, you don't even listen to the naysayers, you know. There are people, I keep saying that, there are folks out there whose sole intention, it's like their purpose in life, is to distract you and make you look bad, and, you know, that's not where greatness lies. Greatness lies in you trying to be a better person than you were yesterday. That's all I strive to do. Never profess to be perfect, I always aspire to be better today than I was yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be even better. That's my aim. Good, it's 24 minutes on to 7. What's buzzing this morning? Let's see. Oro Mass Bond launch. Alright, Spice Mass 2023 is looking to be a spectacular one. Mass bands are not leaving anything up for grabs and are putting out what they wish to display come Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Setting the pace is the Oro Luxury Band. Okay, alright. I've never played Fancy Mass in my life. Never. Could you imagine this? I've never been to Monday Night Mass. Could you imagine this? Yeah, Mommy, don't let me go. She said, you wouldn't be on your best behavior. Stay home. You'll hear about it tomorrow. I've dabbled in the jab and you know what Mr. X called spectator mass? You know, never really literally went out and dressed myself with the tar and so forth. No. I sort of mingle in the band a bit and get a little dirty, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put on a little wine here, eh? Okay, also buzzing this morning, donor concerned. One Grenadian in the diaspora says that because of negative experiences in donating to Grenada, some Grenadians abroad are very hesitant in giving back. That's cause for concern. Wonder what went wrong. Okay, we'll look at that story if we've got the time. All right, no farewell from Suki. Dominican bouillon sensation Shane Suki Edwards is back in Dominica after serving a prison sentence in Grenada. Wow, that guy was here still. Suki, I hope you enjoyed our reception, you know. I hope you feel comfortable in the fact that, you know, how should I put this? Our hospitality was merited the way we treated you, right? Yeah, you can't just come to Grenada and behave in an ugly manner and expect to get beautiful, pretty treatment, you know? No. We've got laws that you must abide to. All right, restructuring MNIB debts. If you are owed by the Marketing and National Importing Board, now is the time to recoup the funds. I think MNIB owed me for something I was supposed to sell to them. All right, that's good news though, and it seems like all is, you know, going as planned. I was speaking with someone on Monday, I think it was, and she claimed that, you know, when she was not expecting it, MNIB called and said, hey, we have some cash for you, come collect it. That's good. Okay, also buzzing this morning, prison commissioner says it's all rumors. Acting Commissioner of Prison Rupert Nichols has refuted all claims circulating in the public that a male inmate that recently died in prison was killed. He said that these rumors must cease as it affects the prison and family of the deceased. Yeah. Rumors, huh? Okay. All right. Also, buzzing this morning, a senior government official. Well, we dealt with that already. All right. So that's not really buzzing again. So these are the stories that are buzzing this morning. This morning, I will be joined, however, by Mr. Curlan Gilchrist as we talk on the minimum wage and this sort of thing. You know, the Honorable Senator Claudia Joseph in her portfolio has instructed the immediate commencement of consultations and so forth looking at the minimum wage situation in Grenada. So this morning I will be joined by Mr. Curlan Gilchrist and we'll be talking that and anything pertaining to wages and so forth. So we look forward to that conversation and hopefully we'll have some time to see what's buzzing. All right, good. So let's see who's on our Facebook page before we head off to the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather. All right. Veronica Sandy says, good morning, GBN, Grenada. Good morning, Gordon and St. Joseph. Blessings to you. Blessings to you too, Veronica. Nelsia Peters, morning, GBN. Morning, Nelsie. Catherine Phillip, good morning, Grenada. Good morning, NSN. Good morning, Catherine. Marilyn Gordon, good morning, Gordon. Morning, Grenada. Morning. Mary Ebang says, good morning. Alison Cox Osplon, good morning to everyone. We have sunshine today. That's nice. And Cheryl Cato, blessed morning. Heaven Hill, when the school tie is disrespected, some students take off the ties after school, then they are mistaken for students from other schools with similar color patterns like McDonald College. Yeah. All right, don't interfere at McDonald College, please. Don't go there. Leave MDC alone. I'm still betting on NDC in the MDC McDonald College. Let me make it clear, right? Not don't get it twisted. McDonald College in the boys and St. Joseph's Convent Grenville in the girls. That's my pick. I hope I don't get 7-1 again, you know. All right, so what we got to do now, we've got to take that break as we head on to do the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather here on Classic. Those of you who are on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. See you on the flip side of 7.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, this is GBN's News at 7. Today saw the official opening of the 2023 Republic Bank Intersecondary School Games. The 3-day event kicked off this morning at the Cranny James Athletic Stadium. More in this report.
The Republic Bank Intercol Games opened with the carrying of the torch by participating athletes. Making remarks at the opening was Minister for Education, Senator David Andrew, who underscored government's commitment to sports.
Sports and these games are part of the ministry's mandate and strategy to produce rounded and well-developed students and Grenadian citizenry. And you see, for many, this might be your pathway to a future career, because sport promises and presents several career opportunities that you need to embrace and pursue. So for some of you, it might be your pathway to a future career. For others, it might just be your stage to shine.
The games have returned to 3 days to facilitate additional events and also to allow the athletes sufficient time to recover physically. Addressing the opening, Minister for Sports Honorable Ron Redhead says that it is the plan of government to build Grenada as a premium sports tourism destination.
This renewed energy is vital for sustained development programs in the areas of sports, which seeks to broaden our grassroots, community, school, and national efforts for the benefit of our athletes. At the same time, government is embarking upon the ambitious goal of building Grenada as a premium sports tourism destination in the Caribbean, and will continue to support our local competitions in every way possible.
This year, 26 schools will be participating in the Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship. Nisha Peters, GBN News.
Acting Commissioner of Prison Rupert Nichols has refuted all claims circulating in the public that a male inmate that recently died in prison was killed. He said that these rumors must cease as it affects the prison and family of the deceased. Rena Pierre Thomas will tell us more.
Reports circulating in the public that 42-year-old Kenton Philip, who was declared dead at His Majesty's prison just about 8 days ago, was killed are just rumors, says Acting Commissioner of Police Rupert Nichols.
He died at the facility on Tuesday, I think it was the 21st, and there are rumors out there, and we've been getting calls constantly stating that, out there within the public that, he was killed, he was beaten at the prison. I would just like to take this opportunity to clear the air, to state that is not factual, and yes, we confirm that the inmate would have died, and this matter is presently under investigation, and at the conclusion of that investigation, we will be made aware as to the circumstances.
The inmate was pending a lifetime sentence at the prison for the death of a female in Belmont, St. George, back in 2002, says Nichols on Tuesday. While an investigation is ongoing into the death of the inmate, the commissioner explains that Philip was hospitalized prior to his death.
What I can confirm is that, he was mentally challenged. He was on medication for over the past 11 years. And, prior to his death, he spent some days at the hospital where he was complaining of chest and back pain. So, that he was released from the hospital, and he died here while he was at the medical office being attended to by the prison medical officer.
Nichols explained that while inmates are at the facility to serve their sentence for their crimes, it is also their duty to ensure that everyone is properly cared for and safe during that time.
And it's sad we do, sympathize, and our condolences goes out to the family of the deceased. But, just to confirm again that it's totally false, and, we were just like, persons out there to desist from spreading such rumors. Yes, but persons at the prison, everyone are safe. It is our responsibility to ensure the safety of every inmate, every member of staff at the facility, and on a daily basis, you can count on us to ensure that happens. And it is unfortunate, he died, and again, but all inmates, it is our responsibility to ensure that they are safe on a daily basis.
For GBN News, I am Rena P. Thomas reporting.
The diplomats have been named. After months of whittling down its options, government has finally appointed its foreign diplomats. Beverly Tellisford will give us details.
An all-Grenadian cast of diplomatic appointees was revealed by the ruling administration on Tuesday. The revelation was made by Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andel.
To the People's Republic of China, our ambassador is going to be Mr. Ian Marshall. The Embassy of Grenada to the Kingdom of Belgium, and also doubling as our permanent mission to the European Union, will be headed by Mr. Raphael Joseph. Our High Commission to the Court of St. James in the UK will be headed by Ms. Rachel Croney. Our ambassador to the United States of America, the United States of Mexico, and doubling also as a permanent representative to the Organization of American States, and our High Commissioner to Canada will be Mr. Tali Francis. We have retained His Excellency Ambassador Hassan Hadid to represent Grenada in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Ambassador Hadid is also assigned to the Republic of Colombia and will soon be accredited to the Republic of Panama. Our United Nations mission will be headed by Mr. Che Philip. Dr. Trevor Lane has been appointed as our Global Health Ambassador. We have also appointed Mr. Orlando Romain as Special Envoy for the Creative Economy and Information Communication Technology. Another Special Envoy, this time for Development and Investment in the Prime Minister's Office, Ms. Andrea St. Bernard. To head our New York Consulate, Mr. Michael Brizan. Replacing Mr. Brizan in Port of Spain will be Mr. Elwin McQuilkin. To head our Toronto consulate, we have appointed Mr. Jerry Hopkin. Our consulate in Dubai will be headed by Mr. Zia Rahman.
Andal, delivering a post-cabinet briefing, noted the appointments are in keeping with the NDC administration's commitment to ensuring that there is a career path for people within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He also informed that there might be some exceptions that would require non-nationals to serve in diplomatic positions.
We have deliberately decided to put the focus on recruiting, retaining, and training Grenadian nationals. Notwithstanding that, there may be occasions when we'll have to tap into the expertise and the links of some non-nationals in certain positions to serve our interests in various parts of the world. So it is not a blanket rejection of non-nationals, but more a recognition that in order for Grenada to move forward, we have to invest in the capacity and the talent of our people.
The first-name Ambassador Glenn Noel was deployed to Cuba this month. He is assisted by First Secretary Sabrina Dumont. Notably, most of the diplomats were bilingual. Government says it intends to professionalize the Foreign Service. On assuming office last year, the government had adopted a policy decision to recall and review all of Grenada's diplomatic postings abroad. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Dominican buoyant sensation Shane Suki Edwards is back in Dominica after serving a prison sentence in Grenada. Beverly Telesford will tell us more.
Suki has been released from prison and is back in Dominica.
Guess who's back? I mean, come on, what about, baby? Love by Dominica Crawl, you know what time it is. Yo, baby. Back on the island, you don't know this already. I mean, come on. Yo, my dear crew, all you know already what time it is. That's all the boys who keep on bread. Big up my boy Rich cross the bridge. Thanks to Rich for all the checking me, looking out for me in Grenada. I mean, come on.
The Dominican entertainer, whose given name is Shane Edwards, was sentenced in Grenada to 6 months at the Richmond Hill prisons on December 2nd, 2022, after 3 court appearances in 5 days. He was charged with 1 count of indecent assault of a teenager. Acting Commissioner of Prisons Rupert Nichols explains why Suki's release seemed so soon.
He spent 4 months out of the 6 because prison regulation says that 1/3 of a sentence handed down by the court would be taken away for good behavior and industry. And for the duration of his incarceration, he was really, disciplined. In fact, when I spoke to him prior to his release, he indicated that, Commissioner, I'm going out there to record all the songs that I composed within your prison. So we do wish Suki all the best.
Many people commented on video footage posted by Breaking News Dominica of the artist arriving back in Dominica. Many are hoping the entertainer had turned a new leaf and used his jail time to reflect on his behavior. One individual, purported to be an officer at His Majesty's prisons at Richmond Hill, commented, and I quote, "I'm an officer in the Grenada Prison Service, and I must say he conducted himself well at the facility. He just needs help to continue his rehabilitation process." End quote. Police in the south of Grenada arrested the artist at a resort on Friday, November 25th, 2022. He was booked to perform at an event at the National Stadium the following day. Amateur footage captured at the resort showed Suki being escorted into a police vehicle after an alleged encounter with a young female at the resort. The minor was reported to be a 15-year-old Guyanese who resides in Canada and was on vacation in Grenada at the time. She was one of 2 complainants, but only one was assaulted. Edwards pleaded guilty to the charge and was represented by defense attorney Jerry Edwin. GBN contacted Mr. Edwin on Monday night about the reports that he was released. He said he had no information to that effect. When pointed to the fact that the 6-month term had not ended, Mr. Edwin told GBN that if he was released, there's a possibility that he could have received points for good behavior. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
This is Broadcast News. Well, if you're owed by the Marketing and National Importing Board, now is the time to recoup those funds, as government is seeking to restructure the debts of the MNIB.
government is seeking to restore the debts of the Marketing and National Importing Board, the MNIB, by the end of May 2023. This includes the repayment or refinancing of these debts on terms and conditions that are consistent with the government's fiscal space. In light of this, government is offering a 50% cut on the outstanding claims to all secured and unsecured creditors. The MNIB Board of Directors has provided a list of all outstanding MNIB debts to the Ministry of Finance. During the month of April, the Ministry of Finance will seek to verify all debts owed by the entity. These measures are a direct result of the prolonged poor operational and financial performance of the MNIB, which led to the Cabinet of Grenada approving the dissolution of the entity, including the assumption of all secured and unsecured liabilities of the MNIB. A statement from the Ministry of Finance says the shouldering of these responsibilities creates significant additional unforeseen potential debt for the central government. All creditors are requested to submit evidence of claims via the email address mnibdissolution@gov.gd on or before April 30th, 2023. Chrislina John, GBN News.
One Grenadian in the diaspora says that because of negative experiences in donating to Grenada, some Grenadians abroad are very hesitant to give back. Quite frankly, they feel unappreciated. He said that changes need to be made to break this barrier. More in this report.
For 21 years, Ken Youngblood has always seen it necessary to give back to his homeland Grenada in any way possible. This has led him to be one of the founders of the Nutmeg Mace Spice Association, a non-profit organization based in the United Kingdom. The Grenadian says that while he is happy to give back, he is also deterred from doing so, as their contributions are sometimes not appreciated.
The challenge that I face, and I'll be bluntly about it, is that a lot of people from the diaspora, we are feeling now that we're not appreciated, and we keep giving stuff, and some of the stuff is being left on the port, or the hospital stuff has been left on the side of the road, the ambulances, and people give up their own, they know the good time to raise money. I know for a fact people has come down here to donate their time free. I'm being told that you may laugh, being told that they're too qualified. Volunteer to donate their time free, but oh, you're too qualified. You're going to undermine the person who's doing it, and it's not fair. So people now back in the diaspora, they're holding back. They want to help, but you have to want that help.
Youngblood explains that there are much more Grenadians in the diaspora that are willing to help in the development of Grenada, but because of their experiences in offering the help, they are no longer showing interest. He believes that more government officials should be involved in these initiatives.
And I think if that happens, a lot more people will be coming forward, because right now there's a lot of people who is holding back because they feel a certain barrier in between. It's like us and them when we all should be one. It's all Grenadians. Whether you live in the States, you live in London, you live here, it should be just one Grenadian. And that's a barrier. Well, we, my group, we're trying to break down that barrier and let us all be one.
Beneficiaries of Youngblood's initiatives in Grenada include community groups, clubs, and NGOs. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Spice Mass 2023 is looking like it's going to be quite spectacular. Mass bands are not leaving anything up for grabs and are putting on display what they plan to show Carnival Monday and Tuesday. And setting the pace is the Oro Luxury Mass Band. Organizers launched their thought-provoking display on Saturday at the Grenada National Stadium. Nisha Paul has more.
The imaginations of 3 local designers comes to life this year as Oro Luxury Carnival prepares to engage masqueraders on the road for a second consecutive year. Head of Marketing is Sheldon Keynes Douglas.
An increased amount of local designers in the band.
which is one of the missions of Oro, is to build, and to give platforms to our local designers. So this year we were extremely pleased to have on board Amapiano, which was the sort of design led by the creative team based out of the UK, Akima Paul and her team. Tokyo Drift, that's another one coming from young designer Christian Chow Chung, an amazing artist, and now trying his hand at designing for the first time. And also Nisha McIntyre, a designer, another Grenadian designer, who presented a classically themed collection symphony, which also featured the male designs of Delonnie Edwards.
Keynes Douglas outlines the other 6 sections, which are designed by Sean Dan Raj, a leading costume and fashion designer out of Trinidad and Tobago.
Under those sections would be sections like Zagazal, which was the reggae section, reggae theme, sort of those sort of influential reggae beats that come out of Jamaica and have permeated the whole Caribbean. Fuego, which is a Latin themed section. So there was Legend. Legend, of course, is a sort of tribute to Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Icon is another section which is sort of tips its hat to the 80s, share, the big legends, the big dance legends of the 80s. There's Baller. We also had, of course, Road March, which was the soca based section, giving a nod to that infectious soca beats. It's talking about, the feeling of joy as we go across the Carnaval.
The daring and fierce costumes that make up the 9-sectioned band for Carnival 2023 were officially unveiled under the theme Synchronicity, Music is Life. Keynes Douglas says this year's theme builds upon the many genres of music, beats, and rhythms that resonates with people.
The types of music that the band will play on the road will obviously be popular music of the day, which is primarily soca, calypso, jab rhythms, etc., local music and regional influences. What the musical genres are the section or the costume design interpretation. So the costumes are interpreting those different genres of music or those periods of music that would have generated a feeling that most of us could connect with.
The Oro Luxury Mass Band was first introduced in 2019 by a group of local professionals who came together to bring a premium experience on the road. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Students' creativity is at the center of tonight's ISAW.
Innovation at its finest and tonight's GBN ISAW. Grenville Secondary School hosted its Anything But a Backpack competition. This student turned a gas cylinder into a backpack. There are usually no set rules for anything but a backpack day. As the name suggests, you should bring anything but a backpack. It has to be big enough to fit all of your school supplies. Our ISAW line is open for your submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
What's up, Grenada? I can't wait to see you on April 15th for the Reggae Fest, the big show at the Grenada National Stadium, featuring some of your favorite reggae artists. It feels like a homecoming. I can't wait to see you, Grenada. Whole heap of love. See you there. Peace.
Grenada, after 10 years.
Hey, Grenada, this is Pastor Donnie McClurkin, and get this, I am coming to the land of spice.
The multi-award-winning Pastor Donnie McClurkin is back live at the Grenada National Stadium for one night of praise and worship, where your hearts will be lifted heavenward, joined by some of Grenada's finest gospel talent, Lexton Mitchell, Edson Mitchell, Ajabu, Spice Worship Ministries, Nicole Fletcher Newton and Company, Patrick Grace, and the PBC choir. Tickets are on sale now, $50, and can be found at all major ticket outlets and at your local churches. Don't miss this unique experience with classic songs like Stand, We Fall Down, Caribbean Medley, Great Is Your Mercy, and many more. Friday, 7th April 2023 at 7 p.m.
Got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I want to see my Jesus someday.
It's a fun and learn Easter at Destined to Win Tutoring and Aftercare Academy with indoor and outdoor games, art, reading and mathematics, field trips, kite flying, preparation for MCT exams, Easter hunt and more. From Monday, April 3rd to Friday, April 14th, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Catering to students aged 5 to 10. Destined to Win Tutoring and Aftercare Academy is located on Tempe Main Road, St. George. To register, call 405-8282.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Island Style's annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tiles to be had with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tiles store-wide. Buy all we have in a low stock model and watch your discounts skyrocket with a huge 15% off. Plus, get chip edge tiles for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grandans or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments.
Renlink, energizing our Grenada.
Kerada James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Kirati James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere. GBN's broadcast of Republic Bank Intercall is made possible by Guardian General Insurance, Rubis, Get Going, the Sunny Water and Powerade, National Lotteries Authority, The Country Cold Store, Shop and Save, Grenada Development Bank, Grenlec, Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, and Viking Engineering.
Conversations and engage with the experts, help to find common solutions for common problems during this COVID situation. We fighting to protect our livelihood across the nation. This is for we to learn, share ideas and concerns, to live life like we deserve. We must change we mindset first. Build strong economies, closer societies. We all have a duty. CEF is for me and you. CEF is for me and you. Caribbean Economic Forum.
Welcome to the highly anticipated second season of Caribbean Medical TV, the first and only medical TV series that showcases the Caribbean and the emerging issues on all health and wellness forums in our region. Like season 1, the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional doctors and medical experts forged the basis of the show. This season, we take the first groundbreaking original show even further. This series aims to empower our people with knowledge, from ways of detecting to ways of healing ourselves, protecting citizens with chronic diseases from COVID-19, while showing how they can manage their conditions effectively and safely receive needed health care while preserving what constitutes the very core of our Caribbean culture, its predilection for flavor, spirit, and rhythm. This is truly a holistic wellness agenda for our Caribbean people.
Welcome viewers and listeners. It's 14 minutes after 7 o'clock and it's time for the conversation this morning. And as I hinted to you earlier, I am joined by a distinguished gentleman and he's laced with humor, man. And we're having a pre-chat and I said, it's Dr. Curlan Gilchrist. He said, well, they give me that. Yes, but nonetheless, I'm joined by Dr. Curlan Gilchrist. He is the chairperson for the Minimum Wage Advisory Committee. I hope I have it right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, good. Well, good morning to you, sir.
A pleasant and beautiful morning. It's a great morning.
Yes, what a wonderful day. Okay, good. All right, so minimum wage and wages and so forth in general has been in the media for quite a bit in recent times. The Minimum Wage Advisory Committee, give us a backdrop as to what are its main functions.
Yes, well, the Minimum Wage Advisory Committee is established in law, the employment law, and it's a committee that the Ministry of Labor and the government should set up, and that should function for 3 years to look at adjusting what you call the minimum wages for occupations.
Okay.
There are a set category of occupation. However, in keeping with the whole idea of transforming Grenada, our committee decided, with the blessings of the government, to take a comprehensive look at wages in Grenada for all sectors, all occupation. And so what we have been doing, my committee is we're comprised of 3 representatives from the Employers Association, 3 from the unions, and 2 appointed by the government.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the composition of the committee, and we have been meeting weekly. Our objective is to meet with employers and also meet with employees and see if we could get common grounds on adjusting the minimum wage that by law an employer can pay an employee.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the idea, and yeah.
And it's important that you say that it's by law, the minimum wage.
By law.
So by law, once the minimum wage is established, an employer should not go below that.
Cannot.
Cannot.
That will be a breach of the law.
Okay.
Cannot pay an employee below that wage. That's just the minimum, of course, based on your training and your skills and so on. You get way above, and there are sectors, that we have discovered nobody's at the minimum wage, yeah. Mm-hmm. And there are other sectors that that we really have to talk to.
Yeah, because they're way below.
They're way below.
Okay.
They're way below.
A very important, a very pertinent question that comes to mind. Because like I said, it's been in the news in recent times. Apparently our new Minister for Labor, Senator the Honorable Claudia Joseph, she seems very passionate about this. As a matter of fact, she has recently been on a regional tour. I think that was one of her mandates on the tour, assessing it. On a regional basis, how does Grenada stand as it relates to minimum wage? Are we on par with other Caribbean territories?
No. I'm glad you asked that question. We are way below. As a matter of fact, if you look at Grenada in the context of the OECS countries, and I'm saying OECD because we share a common dollar, it's a monetary union, we have one financial space, and we have an economic union. We are the lowest paid.
In the region? In the OECS?
In the OECS. Our salaries are the lowest. And this is something that is affecting Grenada because, just for example, we have a population, let's say about 110,000. Thereabout. And they are counting the population also, we get the true figure, but let's say about 110,000. And the value of what we produce in Grenada, which you call the gross domestic product, when you put a value to that, we just about 3 billion EC dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the value. Compare Antigua with a population of 60,000. And the value of what they produce is touching 5 billion. So I'm just saying that, and one of the contributing factor is the value one ascribed to wages, because when you put a value to what you produce, wages is a huge component.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So so in other words, we are worth much more, but it's not being calculated because of the value we put to labor. And once we have raised that value, you might be amazed that our productive capacity will be valued much higher.
Right. Yes.
You see? So we are really undervaluing ourselves in that context. No, that has a lot to do with the structure of the economy and those who command the means of production and so on. Yeah, But we believe that, and secondly, the last time the minimum wage was set was in 2011. All right? That was the last time.
Wow.
2011.
That's 22 years ago.
Yeah, 2011. That was the last time. So you could imagine what happened to the time value of money. Right? $1 in 2011, how much does it worth today?
Well, in 2011, it wasn't worth much. So now, when and a very critical thing comes to mind, having touched that aspect of the conversation. The wage is low, cost of living is high,
going up.
But then we also have the issue of price gouging, which makes life really, really difficult for our citizenry.
I do, and there's a regime of price control that needs to be revamped and make relevant. Yeah, and the mechanism for policing it, and of course the enforcement arm of the system is not working well. I believe when I used to be in charge of the statistics department under which price control function, we had about 20 price control inspectors. My understanding now we have about 3. Right? That is my understanding now.
Crazy.
And that was just after Ivan, when we had the hype in prices because of the scarcity of products.
Yeah.
You know, people take advantage of scarcity.
Sad, eh?
It's very sad.
Well, it's a business principle. Scarcity of goods equal to rising prices. You know, but there should be a controlled level at which it could reach. There must be a peak.
Yes, we do have. We have a whole price control system. For example, but the price control system, just to take a detour a bit, is really controlling the profit margin, right, and not necessarily the price. So if cost is rising, or if cost rises, you will see, even though it's price control, that will be passed on. What is being controlled is the profit margin. Yeah, pharmaceuticals, for example, in law, no one involved in that industry should make more than 40% profit. That's in law. Yeah, whereby just retailing, you have about, 15% or 7.5%. But who control these things? Yeah. Who monitor these things? So do you have the cost of living dynamics going on? Wages are sticky, very, very sticky. And consumers and we as citizens, our standard of living have to be reduced. Yeah?
Yeah.
So
that's sad.
Yes, sir. So what we are concentrating on, and one of our justification for looking at this issue, is to make an adjustment to wages from 2011, in one instance, just for the time value of money. We are not giving anybody a wage increase. You got to work for that. The Bible says, by the sweat of thy brow thou shalt what?
Yeah, but
eat bread.
What's about those of us who work in a condition with no sweat?
Yeah, so it's not about a wage increase, but it's just an adjustment to what you own in the context of cost of living and the value of money. As money, money loses value over time due to inflation. Yeah, inflation is not a nice thing. It eats away from the real power of money. And so we are looking at that. And also, one of the objectives of this government, if I may say, right, and if I have the permission to speak to that, is all issue are looking at poverty. Yeah? The poverty in Grenada is around, 20%?
Yeah. Just thereabout.
Thereabout, but that's general poverty. If you look at extreme poverty, that is rising.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about those who are vulnerable, just on the brink. So any event can push them into poverty. We are looking at that category.
Yeah. If we, as we say it colloquially, if the breeze blows too hard.
Yeah. So part of the minimum wage adjustment is to help ease the issue of poverty. We want to get the wage to a level where you could achieve or maintain or acquire your basic needs. So we want to push people a little out of poverty with the minimum wage. Yeah? That's the whole idea too. So we're looking at the levels of poverty and that income wherein which you must have over and above that to be out of poverty. So the wages, we are also looking there, but we're working with the employers to see if we could strike that balance. Yeah, so we are working with them. So that's one of the objectives. The issue of poverty.
Right. So, what are the core functions of that committee that has been set up? How do you go about? What is the methodology that you're using to get to that point where you can make that presentation to government that this is where we are?
Right. Excellent. So I think you read the script, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't read? You didn't read the script?
No, I didn't. Yeah, honestly.
So the methodology one, our committee, what we did was to look at the ILO recommendation on how to adjust minimum wage. because they are the international body that sets standards and methodologies and approaches for doing that. So we read all of that. Then we started meeting with employers. Yeah? And we also look at the statistics. What exists now, inflation and all of that. And we realized that since 2011, on average, inflation was up, we can put it about 15% on average. And that is very conservative. That's an average, you know.
Wow.
If you look at just food inflation alone, that might be 30%. But I'm just talking about the average. That's across the board.
In math, we say the median.
Right. So we looked at that, and now our approach is to meet with employers and put the situation to them, and we are putting to them right now what we think the wages should be, what it should adjust to. So I won't mention the figure on here, but we are putting to them a position, and getting their reaction, whether or not they could afford it or whatever adjustment they have to make. So that's where we are now, putting a position to the employers, with respect to where wages should be at a minimum level, entry level, Simultaneously, we'll be meeting with the employees to get their gripe and to see to what extent they feel they are being exploited.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to meet with both sides, and then we could put a common position and make a recommendation to the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask this: the minimum wage, it's sectoral.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad you raised that, because there is also an issue with what exists now. Because what exists now discriminates by gender. Yeah. We do have instances where male and female, for doing the same job, don't get the same pay.
In this day and age?
Yeah, and that exists, right?
Wow.
Between male and female. Yeah, we want to eradicate that. Equal pay for equal work. So we want to, the law will be very clear on that. Okay. If you perform the same job, you should get the same pay. Full stop.
Of course.
All right? Secondly, the law as it is now discriminates by parish. Yeah? If you look at the existing law,
really,
in all that parishes are one figure so and you know that exists. So we're trying to establish a wage that it doesn't matter where you live in Grenada. If you perform that task or that job, you get the same pay. So someone, a carpenter working in St. Patrick's, should get the same daily pay as a carpenter working in St. George's. So we're looking at that situation to equalize it.
To be honest with you, Doc, this is a shocker to me. I cannot believe in this dispensation that we are living, in this digital age, as we like to mention it, we still have this sort of barriers?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You notice in Grenada now, and it's obvious, the in thing is the south. There's always the push to the south. Everybody looking for jobs to the south.
Yeah.
Where do we have traffic jam? Where do we have rush hour? The south.
Eventually it will topple.
All right. Now one of the contributing factor is the wages. All right, that is one of the contributing factors.
Everybody coming down because the wages are higher.
And they may see, if I stretch it, where the jobs are, right? The south, the tourism belt, everything. So, and of course, one of the broad economic policy of the government is to rebalance economic development, right? And you will see a great push to a rural development. Not rural, sorry, urban rural development, right? To keep that balance, because there's a strain on infrastructural resources in the south because of that push. Now, the wages are higher, and that's an attraction. You see, so if we can help that problem by rebalancing and equalizing wages across all parishes, all sectors, then I think we can help with that problem.
So your committee, will it also be tasked with the responsibility of doing an overall assessment of the economic spread throughout Grenada and give advice as to some of these things that we're talking about? I mean, I saw some moves made in recent times, a couple of hotels going up further north, Nassajes, and we have a very troublesome one happening in Libera and so forth. Yeah. But would that be one of the considerations from your committee standpoint?
No, we mean that's not our mandate, but what we will do, and as a bonus to what we are being asked to do, just a bonus, right? In put forwarding our recommendation based on our consultation with employees and employers, we'll do an analysis of its impact, right? So the government, in advising them, how to raise it, we have to also advise them what are the likely consequences of the recommendation. And when we do that, we would have to touch some other issues, right? Because there are social consequences of low wages.
Yeah.
Some of the social issues we have can go back to one of the,
low wages, finances.
Yeah, and what
Tyrone Buckmeyer from Legal Aid and Counseling could attest to that as well. A lot of gender-based violence, when you look at it, all sexual abuse and so forth, ties back into this minimum wage.
Yeah, and goes back to the issue of money. What it is about money. Yeah, I don't want to get too philosophical about it, but money is something we have to really manage, right? And because it is a catalyst, it's an influencer, right? And it could drive you crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a big issue, and our mandate is just attending to part of the whole problem of restructuring, re-engineering, reorienting the economy, changing mindset. Transformational agenda. Yeah. So it's all. So we are just part of that whole picture, and we are doing our job in the corner.
Okay. There's a big issue out there now, and to be honest, I'm very startled hearing it from some people that I'm hearing it from. That data protection bill that is ongoing. One of the setbacks, one of the pushbacks it is getting, is there weren't sufficient consultations. Your committee, are you going to take a consultational approach to getting feedback from the employers, because we know there will be some pushbacks from employers, and getting the input from employees and everyone that will be or could be affected by this minimum wage issue? Are you going to have some consultations on that?
But that is the approach. So as starting today, and this program is just the beginning. So we will be doing town hall meetings every week. We want to touch all parishes, meeting with the people, employees. Of course, I'm with you today, and if you are gracious to us, you may bring us on beyond the headlines, and so you want to talk to everybody.
That's a technical way of getting in there. So you heard that, right?
So we want to talk to everybody, get their views. And also when a recommendation is made, all right, we have to explain the purpose of the recommendation, because some things may be painful, but it's necessary for success. Yeah.
Medicine is not nice.
Exactly. So I understand that, and I can see our recommendation would cause a little stir, but I think the society would adjust, and we have to give time to adjust and carry people through the adjustment process. So one of the things we'll be doing, hopefully, once we agree on our recommendation in terms of adjusting upwards, not downwards, upwards the minimum wage, is to have a national conversation on productivity and wages, because they go together.
Yeah, hand in hand.
Yeah, they go together. Now that we would have adjusted the minimum wage upwards, the issue of productivity, you got to own it. Yeah, and also we are encouraging people. The idea is not for you to stay at the minimum.
Yeah.
That is a temporary location for you.
That's supposed to be an entry point.
Your entry point. You should not remain there.
Yeah.
We want to move away from the bottom. Yeah, but it's a starting point. We want to give you a good start, and then it's up to you now to earn your keep to move up. Continuous training, upgrading yourself, and you'll not be at the bottom earning minimum wage. So it's a conversation we have to have, so that people understand what this is all about.
So after you do your committee does all that it has to do, what time frame do you expect to report back to government that these are our recommendations and so forth?
Well, I'm hoping be able to submit a report to the minister by I would say May
of this year.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of work then.
By May of this year, because whatever we arrive at, we have to give employers and employees time to adjust and to prepare. Right? If, for example, in some sectors, let's say the minimum wage for that occupation may increase by 100%. There are some occupation or some jobs that pay maybe $800 a month. Yeah, given the cost of transportation and all of that. and let us say we raise that to 1,400. The employer, wages are an important cost in production and part of your goods, right? So you would have to make adjustments. Yeah? So we want to get this, by middle of the year, we should be trying to get it wrapped up, and therefore the relevant employers will have time to make the adjustments so that law come into effect next year.
By January?
By January, that's the whole idea.
All right. Now, a critical question that just bubbled in my mind. Why is it that from 2011 to now, nothing was done to address the minimum wage issue in Grenada? Why was that so?
I can't answer that question. All I can say politically, if the NDC were back in power before, that would have been addressed. Because the last time it was addressed was when the NDC was in government,
Okay. Oh, so that's an administrative kind of...
I'm just saying it was adjusted in 2011. At that time, the NDC party was in government. Now they are back in government and it's being adjusted again. So it seems as though, I don't want to draw a conclusion, but it seems as though this matter is only attended to. Yeah, I'm saying it seems as though.
Well, I mean, the evidence is there. If they are the ones that did it in 2011.
Well, not evidence as yet. Generally, you have to look at about 3-4 times before you say it's evidence, right? So it's just about twice.
Okay.
So let's see what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what happened.
Yeah. You're a very, very smart guy. Very, very. But okay. Well, do you in wrapping up? You Grenadian, I hope.
Yes, I'm born in Grenada. I'm a Grenadian by birth.
Okay, right.
And by conscience too.
Okay. So you would know Grenada to an extent. Do you expect any contentious issues as you execute your consultations and so forth?
Yes, there are sectors that are very competitive, and the sectors that, like in tourism, for example, where they depend heavily on the externalities to drive their business. Yeah. And then wages is a cost element. So I know they would have to look at the business, yeah, and make adjustments. So we will pay attention to that. Yeah. Agriculture, for example, we are trying to put a lot of emphasis on agriculture. Everybody talking about we need to increase production, but wages in agriculture is an issue. And one of the things we are careful about is what you call it, the labor shift. Yeah, the research will show that the unskilled part of the population migrate to the sector where they are highest paid. So if a laborer in construction would get $90 a day, why would he go in agriculture and work for $40?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to look at the issue of that labor shift and migration shift and see how we could balance things. Yeah. Otherwise, you might find everybody gravitating to one particular sector, but that is where the money is, right?
Yeah.
And so that is our consideration. So as we look at this whole exercise and we make our recommendation to government, and then there are emerging sectors. We know speaking about the creative economy, yeah? There'll be new jobs coming on stream in the creative economy, and the whole idea of wage setting. How much should they earn? So we want to start that in that area by making some recommendation in terms of jobs in that sector and what we think should be the minimum. So we're looking at the creative industry, the ICT sector. Yeah, the whole idea of media, journalism, and it's a high cost for the point of view of the employee. It's a high cost area, and we're looking at that. We are looking at what obtains in the region. How is other islands looking at it? Bermuda just announced, for example, effective June this year, their minimum wage will go up is about $16.40 Bermudan dollars, which is just about $550 US. Our existing minimum wage.
And that's for media workers?
No, in Bermuda, what they did in Bermuda, they just have a national minimum.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so if you have a national minimum, you don't have to go into the sectors.
Okay.
Yeah, but what our legislation does, as it exists now, do not have a national minimum. What we have is just sectors. What is new in this dispensation, we are looking at a national minimum in addition to the sectors.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's new. Yeah, and that cannot be changed by employer, an employee,
or union.
Union, they can't change that. Yeah, they cannot change that. So I think we have great news coming to us in Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martin. By the way, we'll be going to Carriacou and do some consultation.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, we don't want to leave Carriacou and Peter Martin out. So we'll be speaking to the employers and the employees in Carriacou and Peter Martin. So it's a comprehensive approach to the minimum wage, a comprehensive approach. And I'm hoping that my committees, I have some great people on the committee, knowledgeable about the industries that they represent. So we are getting good advice, good dialogue. We are meeting regularly, sometimes on Zoom, sometimes face-to-face. And they are ready and able, and we are committed to the task. We are going to take a comprehensive view of this and then make our recommendations to the Minister of Labour, who in turn will go to Cabinet. So we are just an advisory committee. Yeah, let's hope our advice is taken.
Okay. All right. In wrapping up, anything you would like to discuss?
Well, just to say that please pay attention to GB and other news media. We will be announcing when we having town halls meeting. We're working with GIS and we also Ministry of Transformation, Mobilization. We're working with them in terms of coming to your village and to discussing this whole idea of wages. And we want to get the opinion of employees. How much you think you worth? Yeah? How much you think you worth? Are you being exploited?
You want me to tell you that? Or
yeah, no. Yeah, but we want people to put a value to themselves and to their worth. Self-esteem. That's what we are about to build. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, Dr. Gilchrist, thank you very much for sharing this very important piece of information with us. I know that the populace look forward to this report that is forthcoming with high anticipation. Everybody are feeling the crunch at the moment, the financial crunch. It's sad, and anything that will improve the standard of living of the citizenry will be well accepted. So kudos to you and your committee, and we expect great things, not just for employees, but a holistic approach in the interest of development. At the end of the day, the employers will benefit, because the employees will be motivated to produce more and better and of a higher quality. So thank you for coming by, and we look for further engagements in the not too distant future as we chart the way forward.
Thank you, sir.
Folks, I've been talking there with Dr. Curlan Gilchrist. He is the chairperson for the committee responsible for the minimum wage situation in Grenada. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
Shop at Southern Electrical for all your security camera needs. We offer a wide variety of cameras such as solar cameras with or without lights, 4G cameras, Wi-Fi and PoE kits, 4, 8, and 16 channel, replacement cameras for PoE, standalone Wi-Fi cameras, floodlights with cameras, watch cameras, pen cameras, and much more. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grandin, St. George. Let us help you with your security needs. Southern Electrical, best value, expert advice, quality products.
Here's what customers had to say about Domus Windows and Doors.
The service was excellent with Domus.
Excellent customer service.
Just out of frustration, searching, and just came across you, and I think it was the best, one of my best find ever.
A good feature is that I didn't have to install any burglar proofing on the door because they have laminate glass.
The manufacturing time was on point.
Thanks for what you all are doing. I will continue to be a customer.
Visit Caribbean Shutters, Windows and Doors for Domus quality UPVC solutions.
Are you
or your organization interested in becoming an environmental protection and conservation volunteer? Well, this is your opportunity to serve. The Grenada Sustainable Development Trust Fund invites you and your organization to the launch of its Ecosystems Conservation Volunteer Program on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023 at the Grenada Trade Center Annex from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Keynote speaker, Mr. Van Burn Harry, CEO of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Conservation Fund. He will share the experience of SVG and how their program has helped to revolutionize efforts there. Come hear more on how you can become involved in this great initiative and pledge your participation by registering to become a volunteer. For more information, call telephone number 459-9402 or 410-1682 or email us at info@gsdtf.org or ceo@gsdtf.org. The Grenada Sustainable Development Trust Fund looks forward to partnering with you.
Are you looking for a way to make a meaningful contribution to your credit union? Nexa Credit Union invites you to consider volunteering your time and expertise to serve on one of the following: Board of Directors, Supervisory and Compliance Committee, or Credit Committee. Members wishing to be considered must be active members of the credit union, must have the time to commit to the duties and responsibilities of the position, be of good standing, and possess a reasonable understanding of the credit union's philosophy and operating principles. To apply, simply download the application form from nexacreditunion.com/nomination or pick up a copy at any Nexa Credit Union branch. Once completed, please send your application via mail to Nominations, care of Nexa Credit Union Limited, Corner Cross and Halifax Streets, St. George's, or email nominations to info@nexacreditunion.com. Subject: Nominations 2023. Deadline for application: Friday, March 31st, 2023.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Island Stars annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tires to be had with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tires store-wide. Buy all we have in the low stock model and watch your discount skyrocket with a huge 50% off. Plus, get chip edge tires for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grenada or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
Kerrana James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
Who does man of the party? Tell them it's 4-7 trade. Shout it, let them know where we represent 4-7 trade. Who's the body's passing? 4-7 trade. Them no crazy like
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. A very interesting story conversation this morning with Dr. Curlan Gilchrist. And because of that, dynamism is the name of the game. So I want to hear your take on what you've just heard. The looking into the minimum wage situation in Grenada. What are your thoughts on it? Is it a good thing at this time? Is it a bad thing? I want to hear from you. 435-2041, that's the number. We have a call already. Good morning. We lost that caller. Yeah, 435-2041. It's that important a conversation to have. Good morning, caller. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Yeah, could you lower down the volume in the back, please?
Yes, I will do that. Okay.
All right. Talk to me.
Okay. Good morning to you, Mr. Innocent.
Hi, morning. Welcome.
Yeah, all right. Let me say that I congratulate the gentleman for the statement. I think it was well in place. I think he did very well. You answered the question that you asked him with full authority. Although I wasn't in support of everything that he said, because the last government did made an attempt to have a minimum wage in place.
Okay.
But because of the trials and what we go through, it was not effective as yet.
Okay.
But they did make that attempt. And we true to say that minimum wage is over. I would say it is something that should be done long before.
Right.
Right?
It's long overdue.
Long overdue. And both parties have the blame to it. I agree that the NMP have to take the brunt of the blame on it, but they did make an attempt.
Okay.
Now, my concern is minimum wage. I heard Ms. Claudette say that she give them the orders to go as broad as possible. And I wasn't certain what she means, as wide as possible. I guess that's what she was talking about, of taking in every sector of persons. I was hoping that. But we have to be very careful with how we increase salary, and I think salary is real overdue in Grenada. Minimum wage is really overdue. But we have to be careful. For instance, I heard him say that the farmers, when you ask the farmer to pay more, and an average that a farmer is getting them paying $45, and you ask him to pay more, $50, $60, how are we going to be controlling what the farmers sell? The price of the produce that the farmer have so as to accommodate the worker for that kind of money. And I'm saying that they need much more than the $40 or $50. But how are we going to strike that balance? How are we going to strike that balance? You talk about carpenter, you talk about you paying $90 to help her, and the agricultural person would be getting $40. Where you want to have a glut somewhere. We're going to have people rushing to do for the $90. How are we going to control that? So it's all well to have the minimum wage. It's all well to pay people what is expected because we are agreeing that we might be one of the lowest paid people in the Caribbean.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Thank
so
you
I
very
accept
much.
that. But my concern is how are we balancing that?
Okay.
To tell a farmer that he have to pay more and to work that into the crop that he producing.
Okay.
Like for instance, nutmeg, cocoa. How are we going to tell this association that they have to pay more for the farmer?
Okay.
I think that is a very important area to look at.
Okay. Thank you very much for your concerns, right? Okay, thank you very much. 5 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That is the time. 435-2041. What in the conversation you liked or disliked? Let me hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning, Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
I think in the conversation we should ask, before 2011, when was the last time it was done? And then we can make a good judgment about, not about blame, but who really serious about workers in this country.
Okay.
That's one. You asked the question whether it's necessary. Also, yes, it's necessary. The fact is that, to me, when I reflect, is that we are not too far from slavery in this country, especially the people at the bottom. We need to also distinguish what is wages versus salary. We tend to mix up two of them. And I think to help people understand, these are the basic concepts. We mix up terminology, and so people get confused. So when we say wage, what do we mean? I know I don't have time to do that here.
Yeah. Definitely.
And when we say salary, what do we mean?
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you. 3 minutes on to 8 o'clock. 435-2041. Quickly, let me see what's happening. I don't want my Facebook users to get, feel left out from the conversation. All right, good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent. How are you, sir?
I am alive, thankful, not fully well, but I'm there.
Thank you. That's good. That's good news. But let me congratulate you. You ask a very, very, very crucial question. Why since 2011 nothing has been done? Mr. Joseph, one big question I want you to answer before we go into minimum wage and all this thing. Has Grenada made any economic recovery after Ivan? That is one question we have to answer.
Okay.
Secondly, what is economic strength of the nation today? Before we go into the issue of wages and who are the key stakeholders to make those changes. Have a great day. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good one yourself. All right. This is where I will pull it down on the calls because we just got 1 minute before we head on to the BBC. But of course, I have to interact with our Facebook page users. All right, Sylvina Charles, good morning, Innocent, and everyone tuning in at this time. I want to encourage people. Signs of the Lord's return is everywhere. Let's repent and turn to God today. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? She says, good morning, Mr. Joseph and Grenada. Good morning, Yulin, of course. Mildred Smith, to the beautiful people of Spice Island. Good morning, Mr. Innocent. Stay blessed, stay focused. I always do my best to do that. Donalyn Williams says good morning. So too is Jack Brathwaite. He is watching. Janice Let Joseph, good morning. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go to the WhatsApp platform. All right. I'm going to do my best to make this as reader and listener friendly as possible. This person says, Innocent, I am a taxi driver. I sat in my taxi yesterday listening to a big hardback man telling a lady he have to go by Miss Joseph. People asking him if NDC don't give him nothing to do. Innocent, this man is a fake. He outgo jobs given to him. He sit down and waiting or using tactics But this NDC need to let him know. Work for what you want. Go sweat. He is too lazy. Something in the market every day. Go get a job. Boy, leave NDC out of your nonsense. You fired an NDC supporter for not having her full gang. It's all by the market. Your family did the same. You shed the money. All right, okay. That is a conversation we could have one-on-one. All right, someone asked here, Dr. Gilchrist, is the comparison to wage in the region and Grenada the same in the private sector as in the public sector? Well, I did not see this question prior, but I asked him that, and he said Grenada is way below. All right. Now, folks, what I can promise you is that we will have future encounters and engagements with Dr. Gilchrist and members of his team as they bring to light the findings and some of the pre-recommendations that, they think they will be going forward with. I am going to make a commitment to this, and he has already made that commitment that he looks forward to coming back to future programs. As he hinted, technically he wants to get in on Beyond the Headlines, so I hope the relevant persons heard this, and I do think it is worthy of that conversation. But folks, we've got to wrap it up here. It's just about 8 o'clock, and we've got to head to the BBC for that bulletin of news. So those of you who participated, you listened, you called, you WhatsApp or Facebook, thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning. Bye for now.